Nacho Average Tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Trevor's Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we're doing a Nacho reaction to. I don't think it was the news today, but this is the first time I've actually seen the title of this game. I know Days of
Yeah.
Wonder had kind of posted a little video thing on their Instagram, I believe it was, of a Ticket to Ride, and then it had Alan R. Moon come up and Matt Leacock and Rob Davio. So kind of knew it was maybe a legacy game, but I don't think it specifically said it said Ticket to Ride coming soon. What an interesting title. But now they actually did. It showed that it's Legacy, Ticket to Ride, Legends of the West. So we just thought we'd do our reaction to this one since I would say Ticket to Ride kind of holds a special place for us. It was one
Yeah.
of, along with Catan, probably the two kind of modern games that got us into board gaming.
Yep.
We
Yep.
had specifically the Europe edition, which I think probably the ones that most people would play are either Europe or the original Ticket
Yeah.
to Ride, where it's America. But yeah, so when I first saw that video, even though it wasn't 100% confirmed that it was Legacy, uh, I was very, very excited because I thought, oh yes, it's gonna be a Legacy game. Because why
Yeah.
else would they just show those names? Because kind of, if you got those two together, especially, you're thinking Legacy. I think with
Yes.
Pandemic Legacy,
Yeah.
season 1, 2, and 0. I think they're on all of those, right?
Yeah. Just absolute huge, popular games, and I don't think anyone saw those two names and had no clue what this was. If they knew who those two were, we knew
Right,
it was Legacy.
right, exactly. Um, but yeah, so yeah, once I got this title, I mean, I guess what did that make you think initially when you actually saw the title first? I think we knew that it was going to be something with based on that video. It was showing America again, so
Yep.
we knew it
Yep.
was probably going to be based there.
Yeah, Legends of the West doesn't excite me that much, although I don't think any theme put onto this would excite me very much. I am totally, and I'm still very excited, but all of that is just based on a legacy version of the Ticket to Ride system. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think there's any theme. Maybe some theme would excite me more than others, but this particularly wasn't a huge draw. It's neat. But like you said, it kind of doesn't feel overly new because the original map was the United States. But legacy aspect is the interesting part to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would probably agree. I do like because I'm wondering if it's kind of a play on because I think from the looks of things, if you kind of look at one of those pictures, you can kind of see where you're starting kind of on the east coast of the United States, it looks like. And that part's making me wonder if it's kind of going to be a puzzle board, which I don't
It
know. Has that
it
been done in Legacy before?
it does look like a puzzle board, and that part had me very interested. I don't.
Yes.
That feels like that could be really weird playing on that for like the first game.
Yes.
But that's really cool versus I don't know stickering the rest of the board type of thing. But not to say there won't be any stickers or anything, but
Mhm.
to kind of solve that with a puzzle board instead. That's yeah. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a puzzle like kind of introduced into a legacy game for kind of
Mhm.
adding onto the board. That's
Yeah.
shocking, a little shocking.
It
New.
was. That's what I was thinking. But I was thinking, I'm like, I am shocked that maybe it did happen. I'm not saying it didn't. But from what I know, I don't believe I've seen that before, which I'm wondering how it wasn't done before because it makes a lot of sense for a legacy game.
Yes,
It
yes.
does make a lot of sense to have it be puzzle versus, yeah, sometimes adding the stickers just because kind of, if you have a bigger board, probably a Ticket to Ride size board, it's going to fold somewhere to fit back in the box. And
Yep.
then I mean, in this case, I would assume it's going to be somewhere down the center, which looks like an area that would be kind of introduced, I'm assuming, later on in the
Yep.
game. So you'd probably have to sticker over that otherwise, and then you kind of could get some, creases in the stickers, which aren't
Yeah.
the worst things, but sometimes they can be a little bit of a pain.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
but yeah, the thing that got me a little excited about, it could be kind of just you're traveling, towards the west, and it's just kind of almost makes me think of like a western type legends
Yeah.
going across the west, the train barons going across. but then it also, and I thought I read it somewhere. I don't know if it's in that article that I sent, but I thought there was something that said something about like actual like legends of like tall tales and stuff that happened along the way or whatever,
Mm.
which
Um,
got me a little bit interested, and it made me wonder if it would have with Rob Davio doing Cthulhu, Death May Die, and stuff like that. It made me wonder if there's any of that, or if it's going to be based in like, I guess I don't know any actual like legends or tales that were told about the United States as it was kind of being explored. I don't know personally of many, um,
yeah,
but I'm sure there are. So I don't know if
yeah,
it'd be brand new stories or if it'd be if
yeah.
that is. Now maybe I'm just making that up, but I thought I read it. I don't remember if it's here or if it was something else I was looking at.
Yeah, I'm not. That's one thing that I'm really interested in is how much story there is going to be. Because
Mhm.
we played Pandemic Legacy season 1,
Yep.
and I mean, it's still the Pandemic game. It brings all of those mechanics, adds additional ones along the way. But there is also that overarching story throughout all of the games,
Hmm.
and it's just I don't know why it feels more fitting for a pandemic. Maybe just because it's kind of a story that we've seen done in like movies and things like that with worldwide pandemics. But this just seems much harder to actually come up with a story
Hmm.
for that. I mean, I think they definitely could do it, and I really do hope that they do implement a good story throughout the whatever it is, 12 or so games.
Hmm.
Uh, but I am interested in how that's going to tie into it, and like you said, if they're going to bring some of those legends, which is in the title, Legends of the West. So I could see that happening.
So yeah, I could see it being kind of a play on both potentially. And it looked like there were tuck boxes and stuff there
Yes.
that kind of must be the areas that you explore to in the different games.
So here
There's
are
like Florida.
Frontier boxes,
Ooh.
which quite a few different ones as well. Ooh, Cascadia. Oh my gosh, it's a crossover.
You had to play Cascadia when you do that one, and then go back.
But yeah, so
But
I wonder if these will unlock the puzzle pieces that you'll add there, and I wonder if you'll get to choose, like if there's multiple puzzle pieces for certain parts of the map that you'll get to choose, or maybe a flip side or something. Well, I don't know if yeah, if you flipped it, it probably wouldn't work. Probably wouldn't fit in the spot. Uh,
that's true.
but like, I
Uh,
wonder if it's actually going to, because they do say at the end of the campaign you'll have your own kind of
yes.
unique board that you'll be able to continue playing after the campaign is done. And so that sounds like you're able to customize it.
Hmm.
So I'm interested into just how much you can do that. And here are the
Hmm.
different company boxes. So I assume for the each player will get one of these with their own color and
Hmm.
railroad company.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, and I really do like the fact that it said it's going to be you're going to have your own version to play. I'm kind of curious if it's going to have if you know with the things you're going to do to it, if you can use those cards to play Ticket to Ride expansions. Because I know for a lot of the expansions that they have, I think pretty much all of them that don't have like the actual cards that you need to play them, except maybe the newer small box series ones that are kind of smaller, like New York and Amsterdam and those ones. I think they have their own, but I think you need like a either the Europe set or the First
yeah.
America set because they have like the cards and trains and stuff you need or something for some of the expansions. So I'm curious if this will have the cards you'd need to do that, or if this is going to be just totally different as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I'm not sure. And just for this sample transportation cards here, what are you thinking of the artwork on these cards? I really like it. Kind of it's got an
I like the
older
look to it.
feel to it, and I do really like the backs of those cards as well.
Hmm. I like them quite a bit. I'm hoping that they're not the. I think one of the things that the original gets a bad rap for sometimes. I think in the original, I don't know if it's still printed this way, but at some point it was printed in the card. The original cards were very small. The train
Um,
cards,
it,
but I think you had to buy like an expansion. Maybe that's still the case. I'm not 100% sure, but no, as long as they're the slightly bigger version of them, I really like the artwork on these ones.
yeah,
I think I actually because the one we've played is mainly is Europe. I like these ones better than that, I think.
Yes,
If I
yes,
remember right.
so, yeah. But yeah, just some of the kind of they did an interview here with the three legends of board games: Rob Daviau, Matt Leacock, and Alan R.
Yeah.
Moon.
And we'll link this below as well if you want to read
Yep,
through the whole
yep,
thing. But yeah, they did an interview with all of them
yep.
talking
So,
about how kind of how they got together and decided they were going to do this. I think it sounded like Mr. Moon was pitched a few legacy ideas, and he kind of wanted to do it either himself, or he's like, well, if I'm gonna do this, I've got to get the two big guys that know how to do a legacy game, the two main guys. He was talking about Rob Daviau and Matt Leacock, which is kind of funny because it says they got everyone on the same email thread in 2016, which was, I guess, according to Board Game Geek anyway. I guess I'm not entirely sure when the first Pandemic Legacy, was released, but Board Game Geek said 2015. So this is only about a year after that. And I guess that at least makes a little more sense with Rob Daviau because he was, I guess, involved. This was something that we just learned that he was also involved in Risk Legacy. I did
yeah,
not realize that he was kind of involved with all these legacy games.
yeah,
I knew he was a part of Pandemic Legacy, but I did not know he was also Risk Legacy.
yeah. That was shocking. So I will say he is. If you want a legacy game, which I've heard great things about, Risk Legacy as well as obviously Pandemic Legacy is so well received. I can't think of anyone better to reach out to.
Right, exactly. Um, but yeah, and that's some. I mean, and based on that, they've kind of been looking at this and working on this for
Yeah.
a while, which
So
is, I
it
don't know, a little surprising.
it is interesting because like kind of right at because there have been three Pandemic Legacies now in
Mhm,
span of since 2015 to now. Now it's been
mhm,
a couple years since Pandemic Legacy Season Zero, the third one. So they could just
right.
kind of release those back to back to back, and they it's probably easier because you had done the first one. But it is interesting that all that time they've still only been working on this first version of Ticket to Ride Legacy. So
Mhm,
that I have a little more faith now, knowing that it was worked on for so long by
mhm,
three guys who obviously know what they're doing, and I
mhm,
think probably care about making a good legacy product. So
right.
I'm really excited and very confident that this will be
Mhm.
smooth and really good game.
Right. Yeah. And they said they wanted to stick true to
Yeah,
Ticket to Ride and the gameplay in that. So I'm I'm hopeful that it'll stay pretty true to that because I think that's one of the things that makes Ticket to Ride so beloved is it's just a really approachable game. It just makes a lot of sense even for people that don't necessarily play board games all that often. It's just something that you're picking up tickets, kind of
yeah.
collecting certain colors to get enough to lay trains on a track. So it kind of all just makes sense.
Yes.
It's a very simple concept. So hopefully it doesn't get like too wild and crazy. But from the sounds of it here, I don't think. I mean, I think they added some new things obviously and stuff, but I don't think they went crazy where you don't even feel like you're playing Ticket to Ride anymore or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so oh, there it is. Yeah.
yeah,
So it's Fables and Tales. So or the Fireside Conversations. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what that means, but um, I'm here for it.
yeah,
Uh,
for sure. It does feel now seeing that they have been working on it for so long. But before we knew that, it did feel like how is there not a legacy version of this? So I feel like I've heard with a lot of different games, probably Catan as well, just ideas thrown out there of a legacy version of this and that, and it really is crazy that it has taken this long for an announcement, but it seems they were trying to do it right.
mhm. Yeah, and I'm happy. It sounds like it's gonna just be released on November 3rd of 2023, I believe. I guess it just said November 3rd. I'm assuming that's of
Nice.
2023. But for $120, I'm glad because I was like, oh, you don't think that they would do a Kickstarter, would they? Because
I
that
was
would
worried.
be pretty disappointing.
Yeah,
Because I would say I'm really excited for Clank Legacy 2, but I'm just a little bit disappointed that it's going to be another year before it actually comes out. So I was happy to hear, even though it's still ways out, I was happy to hear that this one's coming out this year. So
Yes, for sure. So that's the first thing I thought as well. Like, oh, that's close, and then I'm like, wait, is it going to be close or not? But yes, it will be hopefully if that is 2023 and not November 3rd, 2030.
that's true. Who knows?
Yeah,
Just getting
but
people excited.
cost that seems a little high. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what all they have in there, obviously, but I guess just looking at some of the pictures, just kind of the whole components, at least what we're allowed to see in this kind of um,
Hmm.
promotional image here, doesn't seem like too much more than maybe a regular Ticket to Ride. Quite a bit more than that, actually. But I guess how much are
Right.
the Pandemic Legacies? Usually like 70, $80.
Yeah, I think right now they're around that 70 to 80-ish. And then the Clanks have been around 100, I think 90 to 100. So yeah, it does seem that was one thing I was like, yeah, it seems a little steep. I kind of wish it was maybe at 100, but
Yep,
we'll see. It
yep,
depends what's in there. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I wish it was just a little bit more cost friendly because I think this is one you could actually maybe get like I said, that the Ticket to Ride system is so approachable that you could maybe get like non-gamers to play like this legacy game and really get into
yeah,
the hobby. But I don't think
yeah.
they're going to get it at $120. I don't think that's going to fly. I
No,
don't know. I don't know
no,
that necessarily 100 would either, but maybe,
it
maybe. I don't know.
probably a
It'd
little
probably have to
more,
be
but
closer to 70, 70,
yeah,
75
yeah,
at most, probably for someone that isn't as into gaming. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I think it's hard though too. If it's the only game they play is Ticket to Ride, and they're not aware of what a legacy game is, then it'll just seem like it's really expensive for no reason.
yeah,
So
yeah,
probably won't be able to sell that anyway. So, but
yeah.
yeah, other than that, I think yeah, I was thinking that too. That was my one kind of thing I wasn't as excited about. But it's still not. I mean, it's not awful, but I
Yeah.
wish it was a little less.
Yeah, not not to say we won't get it. We are very, I would say, very, very likely we will be trying this one out when it does finally arrive in November.
That is true. And
Who
actually,
knows?
I sent some pictures of it to Taylor, and I didn't know that he must not like Ticket to Ride that much, but he said this got him interested. So he's a
Ooh,
little more interested in that.
has
But
he played a
I've all
Legacy? I don't know.
I don't think he has. So that's probably why he's interested in it. But then I've also seen comments online that said, "Oh, Legacy quick pass, hard pass." So it'll be interesting to see kind of how it sells,
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
might
for
be
sure.
attracting people that may have thought Ticket to Ride was middle of the road, but they
Yeah,
may, they know maybe they really love Pandemic Legacy, so maybe they'll be more interested. Uh, we'll see. But no, I'm really excited about this one.
yeah, yeah. I wonder. I am interested to see if this one could climb the Board
Oh,
Game
that
Geek rankings.
that was what I was going to ask you. I mean, it's kind of you can maybe check where is Ticket to Ride or Ticket to Ride Europe. I think those would be the two that would be
Oh,
the highest. Maybe where are they currently ranked? Because I was thinking that I'm like, is this Alan Moon's shot to maybe jump into the top 100?
oh boy, seeing my ratings there. So that
Oh
is
boy,
148 for Europe and 213 for the original Ticket to Ride.
and actually 185 for the Nordic countries.
Yeah, wow.
Um,
It's
so
very
I mean, it's close. I'm guessing Ticket to Ride or Ticket to Ride Europe were probably in the top 100 at some point. Um,
yeah.
I would guess. I mean, because they're from 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing at the time they were up there. But I
Yeah.
wonder if I could get them back into the top 100. I was wondering that with this game. It might be able to.
I think it will. I think this will break the 100. If
Because
it'll
this is,
stay there, I don't know, but
I don't know. I mean, I just looked in the Pandemic Legacies are ranked 2, 49, and 50.
oh wow.
So, I mean, you've got the two guys that did that along with Alan Moon, who came out with one of the greatest classics ever.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it should have a chance. But I do like how it said once in a lifetime game. I'm like, I think if the money talks, might be able to make it a 2 or 3 times in a lifetime. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Hopefully
see.
it'll do well. Hopefully it'll
Yeah.
do well.
Yeah, hopefully there's 4 or 5 seasons of this.
There's a lot of the world to explore, as they found out from all the expansions they've done.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are of this one. What your favorite Legacy game is. Even though we've played the first Pandemic Legacy, I will say Clank Legacy is probably still my favorite. But
Yeah.
I do have Pandemic Legacy Season 2 ready to play.
Yes.
So it's not like I didn't like it. But yeah, I'm excited.
I am very
November
excited.
can't get here soon enough.
I just want to be put into medically induced coma and be woken up November 4th, ready to play. You'll have learned the rules. You're good to go.
And then none of us will be here, and it'll really gotten released at November 4th of 2050. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like I said, let us know what your thoughts are. If you think this was a big mistake, if Ticket to Ride shouldn't have been doing this, or if you've been waiting for this for just as long as Mr. Moon, as in 2015, 2016. Yeah, otherwise you can check out our other videos. I don't know if we might have Ticket to Ride London content, but I don't know if we have any other Ticket to Ride content.
Yeah,
So
I
we
don't
might
think
have to get
anything
some out there.
else. Yeah.
We might have to get some out there. Yeah, but otherwise check out our other videos. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.